George Washington lived long ago in colonial times. In those days, British soldiers marched down village streets throughout the land. For America was ruled by a king in England, a country across the Atlantic Ocean. Young George lived on a farm in what would someday be the state of Virginia. Back then, farm children usually didn't go to school, so George's mother taught him and his little sister and brothers how to read, write, and do arithmetic.
Positions!
Keep down. Men, stay down. How many are there? More than us. That's for sure.
Rebels? Lay down your arms, rebels, or you're all dead men.
Don't fire unless fired upon.
Profiles of the President, George Washington, by Michael Bergen. This website, pecanticohills.org, was created by a teacher. And on here, she just has a lot of different things about George Washington. There's a timeline quiz, some activities. She has some word searches. A really neat activity on here is President for a Day, and it's a link to a pbskids.org website. And students can apply to be president for the day. You just type in your name and then fill out the rest of the information. And it takes you through a series of questions. And this one says, it's time to wake up, you have a busy day, but what would you like to do before your first appointment? And each question has a fact down at the bottom about the presidency. And then students can just click through their answers. And then when you click an answer, it'll give you another fact about the presidency, and then you go on to another question. So this kind of gives students an idea of what it's like to be president. WashingtonWired.org is a good website for teachers. It's an archive of a lot of different articles about George Washington. One article on this site is Extreme Makeover George Washington Edition, and it's about some forensic anthropologists who come together to make sculptures of what George Washington looked like. Something really good on the site for teachers is our top pick for student reading, and it's a PDF file of tons of books that they think are good resources for students. George Washington by Andrew Santello. George Did It, written by Susan Tripp Germain, illustrated by Larry Day. Getting to Know the U.S. Presidents, written and illustrated by Mike Vanzita. Rediscovering George Washington is a pbs.org site, and this is a site that students can use outside of the classroom to get further information about George Washington. It has a biography about his life. It talks about some of the great things that he did, about what he looked like, and then some qualities of his character. It also gives a timeline of his life, and students can come and see letters that he had written or his first inaugural address, and they can even listen to them. Infobits is an online database provided by Discus for kids. If you click here on History and Social Studies, it has its own section for U.S. presidents, and you can find George Washington. And now students have different reference materials about George Washington, magazines, newspaper articles, and images that they can use.